Let me give you this. Do you know that from last season till now, there's no player under 21 that scored more goals and assists than Garnacho. From last season down, is Jamal included?
No.
So he's doing well.
When you're a big player, you play for Manchester United. People always talk. Whether you do well, even when you do well and you don't do something as well as a professional.
United best players are the most scrutinized players.
Exactly.
Say that Garnacho, you are not doing this well, or Garnacho did not do this well. Tenag is speaking, or Amorim, whoever, manager, just comes out to say, this person is not doing this. You're speaking from a place of authority. Now, if we're talking about it here, right, on our platform, this is our space, we can say what we want. But if you're being confrontational, you have gone overboard as far as I'm concerned. You have no right to. That's not criticism. That's like an outright confrontation. You're
basically
telling him
harassing the
do
guy.
this, basically harassing the guy, telling him do this, do that, do this. And I like that Garnacho responded. He was like, guy, if you know so much, why are you not playing? Good, great. Now.
Good morning to the great people of Lagos and the great people of Nigeria and the rest of Africa and the world. Now, this morning, we are back again with another banger on keeping up with the No, don't worry, scratch that. Keeping up with the home of TSL. And while I might not be the babiest of boys, who is conspicuously absent, just like his fantasy teams, right? So every Clay Thompson, there is Chef Corey. And today we have something really sizzling in our kitchen, a three-course meal. Our appetizer is going to be the Premier League. Our main course is going to be the NBA, and our dessert is going to be none other than the NFL. And with me in my kitchen, I have my sous chefs and also my great guys. See my daddies.
This guy big.
Actually, I'm not meant to be here today, but anyway, there's food. Yeah, call me up. The appetizer, like you said, right? Yeah. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
So yeah, Ifeanyi, how have you been this week?
I've been good. I've been great. Can't complain. Right. Adulting is very difficult nowadays. Look left, look right, billing here, billing there, stress here, stress there, and all of that. But small thing now. We'll push it. We're good.
Talking about billing, where is he? Has he played for Bournemouth this season?
Bamiji. Welcome back.
So for like 2 weeks now, our uncle here has not been with us. And then, I'm sorry, I insulted him last week, and then my fantasy took a nosedive.
Yes, I sat down on that chair too. I sat down on that chair last week too.
See,
never again.
When you come against the God, you better come correct. Okay?
Never again.
How have you been?
I've been alright, man. It's been great. I've been on leave, so just taking the time in to absorb what T-Pain is putting on us. But we're surviving and we're still here. Let's go.
And then to my left, our NBA head, our Mozuma. How is it going this morning?
Oh, it's going well. Glad to be here. We've just been monitoring and observing everything going on, but it's great to be here.
So not to waste.
How do you monitor everything from the gym? Don't you go to the gym every time?
I don't go to the gym every time.
Oh, okay.
I have a job. You know I have a job. So from work to the gym, then home. Yeah, so it's easy.
If you get connections with Elon Musk.
Now so.
We feel it there.
Now so.
We feel it there.
Now so.
And just like before the rainfall on Thursday, and Yola don't already give us forecast for that day. Oh no, lads. On to business, guys. I beg, this David Coote matter. Honestly, in my humble opinion, I think this thing is actually being blown out of proportion. But what do you think?
Is it? I don't think it's being blown out of proportion. So, refereeing is one of the jobs where you have to be seen as a clean person, where integrity is one of your keywords, right? I mean, obviously, you cannot draw a straight line between what he said. I don't want to repeat the things he said. I don't want to repeat the things he said, but I don't think you can draw a straight line from what he said to bad decisions against Liverpool, right? I always say it's everywhere I go. All the referees in England are bad. By the time you start looking at David Coote's bad decisions, you'll see decisions that, just in the course of this week, we've seen decisions that favored City, that went against City, that favored Chelsea, that went against Chelsea, that favored even the Liverpool and went against Liverpool as well. So I don't think you can draw that straight line. However, it's one of those jobs where you must be seen to be clean, right? You can't be... My first reaction when I saw that video was, is it that this guy is on drugs, is drunk, or maybe it's old-fashioned pillow talk, right? Because I don't know why he was so comfortable in that couch saying those type of things on camera. It was not like a hidden camera now. Everybody could see that camera. So
let me hold on your thoughts because before we even get into the nitty-gritty of the conversation, we need to go on a very short break. We'll be right back. And David Coote. We'll see in a bit.
And we are back, guys. And yes, as we were discussing earlier on this, our David Coote matter.
No, I was just saying that it's one of those jobs where you have to be seen to be clean, right? You cannot afford to have any sort of bias. I mean, we all know that these referees grew up in England, they support different teams, etc. But the moment their bias reflects on the pitch, then it becomes a big problem. That's why they make sure that some of them don't referee the games of the teams they support or their opponents. So, in as much as you cannot draw a straight line from what is said to happenings on the field, I just feel like coming out to say this type of thing on camera, I don't think there's any going back from that, right? It's not like if you put him on the pitch, every decision he makes in every match will be scrutinized beyond measure or whatnot. So it's just, it's funny and it's sad, right? It's funny because my friends and I crack these jokes about referees running mostly a gambling ring. And the reason why I say gambling ring is because there's some decisions that you cannot explain. They're just bad calls. There's no, I mean, you see some that, okay, maybe yellow card, red card, orange card, but there are some that there is no explanation for it. So it's like, nah, it's manipulated, right? We just make those jokes. And so for you to come out and say this type of thing on I think it's Premier League career, first and foremost, it's done.
But put in mind that this video was actually during the lockdown. It's not a recent.
So in the video, he mentioned it and he said his problem with Klopp was against Burnley. Where
he showed the
video. And that was
it doesn't even matter at the time.
2020.
Because like Ifedotun rightly said, there are some professions you go into and you just cannot be seen in a bad light.
Yeah.
No matter, for example, you work in a bank and
I know where you're going with this.
you've been caught doing some frivolous things, and once it comes into light, that's the end of your career.
That's the end
no
of your career.
bank, nothing will take you anything. So, what is done, I mean, I don't know why those kind of things will be caught on camera.
It was even a hidden camera.
I think that's my biggest problem. Like, he had a friend record. It was obvious maybe he was high or something, like you said.
No, the videos have come out of him doing white
stuff. His friend records this and keeps the video all these years, only to bring it out like 3 to 4 years later.
So may I even have a conspiracy theory that these videos have been out for a while and they've been blackmailing him with it, and he just, you know what, put it out. I'm done with this. Because that's why everything is coming out at the same time. The videos have come out of him saying what he said. The videos coming out of him doing powder
stuff. Yes.
the videos have come out of him booking hotel rooms at the last Euros and all of that. Everything coming out at the same time. It's not just they didn't just find out.
Conspiracy here, you know. And this all happened that just after he cost us 3 points. So I'm sure.
That was my point.
Ineos probably paid someone and say, you know that guy, let's end his life.
And that was my point exactly. So I mean, obviously Liverpool fans first went, bad decision in this game, but he actually refereed Liverpool's last match against Aston Villa, right? He had one bad call, which I feel have been corrected. That was
penalty for what?
No, the Nunes goal, Bailey on Salah. I thought that was a red card, and he waved play on.
No, he waved
play on.
He didn't do play on. He did this, like
it
foul.
was not a foul. Yes.
Good. However, if
like
Nunes misses that chance, VR is going to look at it, and that's a no-brainer. Also, there was a penalty that Aston Villa should have gotten, and he did the same. So it doesn't look like he favoured one team or the other team. And just the week before, it was basically bullied at the screen by Michael Oliver, right? That was the West Ham United game where he kept on saying that, Danny does not have control of the ball. Oliver was like, nah, it's a wild thing, is whatever. So it goes back to the point that all the referees are bad. See, we made noise about if it was Arsenal that this referee was talking about, media would have gone crazy because Arsenal fans have always said that the referees are against them. But the first video that came out was Odegaard's handball in the box that favored Arsenal.
Arsenal fans said Odegaard was trying to control himself. I don't.
My point is, the referee is bad. Do you think there's any good referee in England?
No.
It's really hard to tell.
Do you understand? So, based on doings on the field,
Let me actually. Did you think Phil Dowd was good?
I don't think there's any good referee in
The
Premier League.
last good
By good referee,
ref,
question.
the
No,
last
no.
good
Don't
ref.
mention the name I think you want to mention, but go
In
You
my
ahead.
can't mention
opinion.
Howard Webb.
You can't mention
hell.
exactly. That's the name I was hoping.
Klassenberg was the last good Premier League ref, in my own opinion. Klassenberg.
So here's the thing about referees to me, right? You cannot get every decision correctly. Now, if your mistakes are borderline, if it is grey areas, right, I don't mind. It's something where it will go for you, go against you, but there are some bad decisions that nobody can explain, right?
Yeah.
That handball, there's no way that Odegaard handball. David Coote was on VAR for City Chelsea last season in the FA Cup semis, where somebody's free kick hits Grealish stand in the box, they didn't look at it, or whatever. There's also talk, although I don't know if that one is confirmed, the Rodri handball against Everton too, a while back. So, all those things are, how did they miss this? That's where I have a problem with. Referees have 1 second to make a decision. You cannot mix it up. So,
We need to check what they do in that VR room. The amount
maybe
of powder.
We've heard what they are
powder that
saying.
gets there.
So, but honestly, but they've done this thing where I think Howard Webb is the one that comes to now review some of the decisions that they made over the weekend, whether some of these decisions are because people have been shouting.
For me, that thing means absolutely nothing. I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean anything. It's after the fact. It's after the fact. Don't go to
rubbish to me.
See, but hold on. We get the reason why they are doing it.
No.
Yeah, it's supposed to provide some
What
sort
is Howard
of
Webb? What is Howard Webb
Exactly.
coming on to say?
The game is-
That
Are
was
you
the
going
wrong
to give me
decision.
my 3 points?
The game is
back.
gone.
The
The game
game
is
is
gone. Not.
It makes no sense.
We all saw
to me.
the Barcelona game against Sociedad, the Lewandowski offside, right? Where
That ended up being like it was
semi-automated offside picks the defender's boots as
Lewandowski's
Lewandowski's boots and
yeah.
all of that.
Yeah.
And semi-automated offside is never wrong, right? Now this was an interpretation problem. The same way Liverpool Spurs last season, where VAR picked it that this guy was onside, but the interpretation and them affecting it on the field was where there was a problem. So that's where I say systems are not bad. The individuals behind it are the ones that are bad.
Definitely.
Now, this accountability issue, all well and good. If you make a mistake today and you say, oh, sorry, this is what happened, next time do better, but next time I still get more of the same. That's why I don't care about it.
okay. Moving on from this, I think because we spent a lot of time on it before Bamiji took me. So moving on from it, what do you think about what Fernandez said about Garnacho actually not celebrating that wonderful goal that he scored?
Okay.
Against Leicester.
So let me go on this because I've had this conversation with different people.
A
on
lot
different
of people have been blasting
good,
him
right?
that why
So-
won't he celebrate?
I mean, I was watching the overlap the other day, and Roy Keane, in his usual nature, was saying all the usual things he was saying, and Ian Wright was trying to make a point, and the point is, it has affected him. That's the main thing. Saying, oh, it shouldn't affect. It has affected him. What are we now going to do from here? We are going to either tell him. So I've seen people call him a sport brat. People have called him this. People have called him that.
Do you think he's a sport bro?
No, he's a young boy. People say, oh, he's a father.
Even if he's old.
This
Even
is
if he's old,
a
he's a young
boy quote. I don't know.
Bamiji, at
Because
age 20.
I've seen so many young boys.
At age 20, Bamiji. Let me give you an example.
right.
Right? When I was in uni, right, we're writing exams. I was around 2021. I was 1920.
Okay.
I'd finished my exams, so I was going back into college. I tucked out my shirt, and my tummy was purging out a little. My friend said, guy, you just chop a bar. Your stomach big. Oh. I went back to yourself to change. Little comments can affect you in ways that you feel, you are, guy, he's 20 years old. You are signing autographs on your stadium, and someone comes to you, and he's pointing at you and criticizing you.
I love you. And I'm going to give you a brutal. I'm going to give you a brutal truth now.
Mm-hmm.
I love you. You're a great guy. You're going to amount to something great.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not Alejandro Garnacho, who is a celebrity, who is going to be scrutinized with every little thing he does.
That's not scrutiny, Bamiji.
Then it's what?
That's not okay. So let me give you an example, right?
Let me give you an example to make your case even a lot better. Against the game in against Park, where he was going into the stadium, and then you had the fan literally shout.
That's the game. That was the game. That was what happened. That was what happened. So let's leave Garnacho aside, right?
Okay.
Right. We all have jobs, right? And we are all subject to scrutiny at our jobs.
Yeah.
Good. My supervisors can call me out and say that I can do something great, and my supervisor can say, "This guy, you did rubbish." You take it as a man. You don't have any choice, right? Somebody from outside just comes. Somebody that I have no business with or report to just comes and says,
That doesn't do what you do.
and says, "Okay, you should be doing this thing better. I'll change it for you on the spot."
Thank you.
That's one. Good. Now,
Thank you.
As Garnacho, it's a different thing. If Tenaggio
What the fuck are you that
If Tenaggio,
Please.
I'm sorry.
If Tenaggio-
Pardon
please.
my French.
if
I'm
Tenaggio
sorry.
comes out to say that Garnacho, you are not doing this well, or Garnacho did not do this well. Ten Hag is speaking, or Amorim, whoever, manager, just comes out to say, this person is not doing this. You're speaking from a place of authority. Now, if we're talking about it here, right, on our platform, this is our space, we can say what we want. Okay. But if you're being confrontational,
Okay.
you have gone overboard as far as I'm concerned. You have no right to, that's not criticism. That's like an outright confrontation. You're
Basically
telling
harassing
him
the
do
guy.
this, basically harassing the guy, telling him do this, do that, do this. And I like that Garnacho responded. I was like, guy, if you know so much, why are you not playing? Good.
Great.
Now.
Exactly.
Now.
I love that response.
Yeah,
I actually
so
love that
that's
response. So,
halfway.
if it or two,
That's
thank
halfway.
you. So,
Good.
we're going to the point where...
Response.
Thank you.
Good. Now, the number one point with this guy is celebrity or not at 20 years old.
Still a human being.
My life was faster than a lot. I was 20 during NYC. Still, I know the things that I saw at 20. Do you understand? Now, if you do that to Bruno, do you think Bruno cares about it?
No, he doesn't.
And as far as I'm concerned, the main point of this is whatever Garnacho does will be scrutinized. Now, I don't know if you guys remember 3-4 years ago when this guy, Maguire, was the one on hot plates, and everybody called him all sorts of names, and Maguire scored for England and celebrated, even cupped his ears. They abused him for celebrating. People are going to talk regardless. Just, are you good? Is
Just
Garnacho
keep doing
good?
what you are doing.
That's all. That's
And in
my
the response,
business.
and in the
See,
response
so
to
far-
what,
so far,
and in the
you just
response-
answered the question.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And in the
So
wait,
you just
hold
answered
on.
the
So for
question.
him,
I know
So-
the.
so-
do
You just
you know?
answered-
Do you know the ironic thing?
Enola, you're annoyed at Roy Keane. Sorry.
Do you
See,
know the ironic
do you know
thing?
this
Guys,
matter?
the response-
Roy
guys,
Keane is
wait,
always going to show tough love.
The response that people were asking for is him scoring that banger. People are now complaining that he's not celebrating. So the response you're asking for Garnacho, he has done it.
So wait, let me get something.
Do you understand?
Bamiji, what would you have preferred Garnacho to do?
To celebrate.
See, I don't care about him celebrating. You know my issue with you. We
I
had the
know.
conversation.
I know we had that
See,
conversation.
this topic relates to me because I'm just 1 year older than Garnacho. So it's like I don't understand. I can understand his pain. You get- no, what?
can
Jokes
understand
jokes
his
aside.
Come on,
Jokes
guys,
aside.
this is what you're older than Garnacho.
Jokes
Don't kill me, I beg.
aside. Chill,
I beg,
jokes
I beg, I
aside.
beg, let me
Jokes
hear
aside.
what.
Jokes aside. People are always going to talk.
Definitely.
When you're a big player, you play for Manchester United, people always talk. Whether you do well, even when you do well and you don't do some as well as a professional.
United best
as a-
players are the most scrutinized players.
Exactly. As a
That's
professional,
fact, yeah.
professional, you need to know how to block the noise.
No,
There's no
not
there-
everybody knows how to do it at that
And no, but
age.
do you get that you need to learn how to
Definitely
as
now.
fast
I'm
as
not
you
arguing
can.
down with you, but what I'm saying is the point is that it has affected him. What now comes next is what people are supposed to look at.
So why are you angry with what
I
Roy
do-
Keane did?
No, me, okay, maybe because you're not on that. I don't really talk about my issue with United legends on that particular group chat.
They talk too much.
They talk too much. And they don't represent the club the way they're supposed to represent the
Yep.
club. And I gave the example of Jamie Carragher. Have you ever seen Jamie Carragher on
Shout
Monday
out
Night
to-
Football
shout out to
or
Tommy
anywhere
that's been
else
saying this thing
say,
for a while.
Trent should
right
have done
now,
this. Van Dijk should have
right
done
now,
this.
Trent hasn't signed a new contract.
They
He has
won't do
never
that.
mentioned it on
They
screen.
don't do that.
Can you imagine if that was Roy Keane or Ferdinand?
And a
They'll be
lot of
saying,
United
sign that
fans,
new
a lot
contract,
of
sign that new
United fans
contract.
talk
Bro,
about
shut
their
up.
players like opponents too, man. They always talk like
understand?
opponents. They always talk like opponents.
They are attacking our players with them, and that fuels the fans to do the same thing.
coincidentally,
That's
But
my own
funny,
issue
but
with
funny
it.
enough, I don't even think it's just a United. I think maybe the United legends have actually started this trend, and then we now
No,
see,
first
like,
is
the
first. They
main
are too
media-
much. They are too
They are
many.
too much
the
in
main
media.
media.
Most clubs,
The main media.
most
I
clubs,
remember watching.
No, in fact,
I
all of them,
remember watching
all of them
one
should go
of-
and focus on other things.
I remember watching Simon Jordan and Martin Keown on TalkSport,
Okay.
and then Keown was actually defending Garnacho.
Okay.
That it's obvious he's a kid. He has been affected by this thing, and then Jordan is going, no, he's earned this amount of money. He's doing this. He's doing that.
Why do
And
people
in my
talk
mind,
like
I'm
that, man?
Basically,
and I'm like,
they've dehumanized
what
the guy.
is this?
He's now a commodity. He's a product to most people.
Why do people talk
But at
like
the end of
that?
the day, this guy is still a human being, and it has affected him. Fine, no wahala, it has affected him. What Bruno said, perfect. That's happened. Put your arm around him. At the end of the game, Ahmad, who is how old? Maybe not just how many more years older than him.
Yes,
Put his arm around him.
like-
Everyone was even
That's all,
what's
I'm
his
sure in
name?
the dressing room themselves they'll
Hoylund,
continue.
they'll continue the same thing. That's the most important thing.
That's-
Why are you bringing it to the media saying, "Oh, this"?
Yeah, Roy Keane goes out and says,
Shut up. Yeah, he gets another job.
Roy Keane has already fighting with his
so-
manager.
I mean,
Roy
I
Keane
don't want-
is
I don't
the
want us
worst
to-
example.
That was fighting
I
with
don't want
his
us to
manager.
overshadow this.
Yes.
Let's actually talk about Garnacho himself here,
Okay.
because
Roy Keane,
that boy
wherever you
needs a
are.
lot of improvement.
Definitely.
It's 20 years
He
of
does.
Bamji.
No,
That man is
definitely.
old.
Guy, Yamal is the exception.
Not top percentile.
I believe
Yamal is the
you can be as good as
exception.
he is.
No,
Bro,
see,
Bamiji, let me
I
give you a
was
start.
waiting for someone to
Let
ask
me
me
give you
call
a start.
Yamal.
Let me
Yamal
give you a
is the
start. You know
exception.
that from last season till now,
Okay.
there's no player under 21 that has scored more goals and assists than Garnacho. From last season down, Yamal included.
no.
So he's doing well. Just need to improve.
Wait, no. So this is not even just a Garnacho conversation, right? If someone says I scored 30 goals in the season, I did well. Someone's like, okay, but Messi scored 70. Those are outliers. You cannot use
Definitely.
outliers to make examples, right? If you're making examples, you use mostly.
So do you
averages.
believe that after Yamal, it's Garnacho?
No, I don't think so. I think Garnacho needs improvements, like you said. I just feel like for his age, for his status, he's not even a sure starter, right? He's mostly a rotation player. Everybody even makes noise that he's better when he comes off the bench and all of that, right? Obviously, the reason why he's not a sure starter and people are saying he's better against tired legs is because when he's fresh against
Fast.
tired legs, right, is whatever lapses of judgment he has in decision making and all of that, he can easily cover for it,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
If he knows that if I take you outside at the beginning of the match, you can catch me.
You
If
won't
it's
catch me
70th
on
minute,
the
you cannot
outside.
catch me again.
You won't catch me
Right
again.
now, so he has to make most of his decision making like has to get better and all of that. So I agree with you on that bit. I'm just saying like back to when you last said we have dehumanized some of these guys. You just look at them like, okay, because you have gotten to this place, you cannot make mistakes. Football is such a funny sport where even the professionals, right? We see people that score penalties in their sleep get to the
Come
big
up and
stage
then
and
throw-
they treat
throw it away.
right. You see people that goalkeepers that save out of these world balls and they'll drop. Look at
Drop
what
the
Neuer
ball
did in
inside,
Champions
yeah,
League semi-final
yeah.
last year.
Drop
and
the
all
ball
of that.
inside the
So we don't give these guys allowances for errors, which do you understand? Because more often than not, it will make the right decision.
Yeah.
Look at the goal that I scored against. I mean, this is United's top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer.
And someone is coming out of the pitch to say, "Yeah, if we do that here, there's a way. If you want to say Garnacho should do better, see the way you said it. Oh, I feel like he needs improvement on so in your space. It's not like you went to his. That's a difference in the entire.
So if you're in front of Garnacho, what will you tell him?
I'll support him.
I tell him Garnacho, I love
100%.
you.
What would you tell him?
So
Well,
like,
better.
you're doing good. You're doing a good job. See, fans have turned themselves to opponents in the first place, bro. And I tell you this thing all this time, guy. The last time you were here, we spoke about Kopama, and you said something about is it fixture proof or whatnot? Do
Yeah.
you remember? Good. He has played against Arsenal. He has played against Liverpool, and against United. He has dropped nothing in those games in FPL. Now, do you think a Chelsea fan will go outside the stadium and say do better in big games?
I'm going to support that boy no matter what. He's
Come
a
on.
star boy.
Let's be serious here now.
And it's only United that does this.
We are encouraging
Only.
bad
I don't
behavior.
agree. That's
Think about-
that's
no, think
that's
about-
a conversation
think
for
about-
another day.
You know that.
Wait, wait.
Only like
Do
this.
you
Do you remember
Stop.
this guy, Kwanzaa, all the rubbish he's doing on social media?
Yeah. Do not talk about
Nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it.
Imagine,
So, let me
imagine
have
imagine if Garnacho takes an OOF
we heard
model.
everywhere now. We heard everywhere. But let me even tell you. Let me tell you the funny
Roy
part.
Keane will nearly kill
Which
him
Arsenal,
on
which
overlap.
Arsenal legends?
No, but I also
which Arsenal
think, like-
legends do you think talk in front of camera a lot?
Yes,
That's just right.
Just right.
Right.
Liverpool, Chelsea.
That is-
Carragher.
You can call
Carragher.
10 United off your head.
10.
Ah,
All of them
yes.
in the
Once
media.
too many people
Gary
start
Neville.
talking.
The only United legend I respect on the camera right now is not really a legend, but it's someone that played for United, Hargreaves. When you listen to
You know what's
Hargreaves
Ferdinand?
talk,
Yes,
can't
yes,
get it,
yes,
Ferdinand.
yes.
Ferdinand-
when you listen to
Ferdinand-
Hargreaves talk,
No, but even
Ferdinand
this
is-
guy
Hargreaves
too.
breaks down
Ferdinand
the
is
game,
no,
and
I
he's
love
very
this guy
honest
too.
in his
I love
analysis.
this guy too. I love Bebatov as well. I love
Well,
Bebatov.
most of those guys are they have different cultures in them, right? They've played for multiple Hargreaves had the
teams.
whole Germany experience, and most of these guys just believe that I was in a team that was winning
let
all
me-
along. My team was winning all along, and
So based on this thing you just said, let me now ask this final question. Could it be that the reason why a lot of these legends are like this is a sense of entitlement?
that's what it is now.
As to
Let's
this,
not
is,
even
this
say-
is what
Why not?
man you
Why
should.
not? I don't even.
And that's why all
I
of them
don't- I
suck
don't
at
know-
management
I don't know
because
what
they
it
never
is.
want to learn new things.
I don't know what it is because if you listen to them speak
That's the
about
punchline.
if you listen to them speak about Fergie, it's never the same because Fergie had different man management styles, right? Fergie could be hard-headed. Fergie also had the humanity side where Kieran Richardson was talking about how he hadn't signed his pro
all of
contract.
them, all of
And
them.
Fergie said, get in the Champions League game because you know that they're going to give him a 12k bonus at that point in time at age 18. Imagine that kind of thing when you hear that and you are going in and the manager says, "Happy birthday, son." Guy, there's no way that you run through a brick wall for that
But
manager.
even Ronaldo at 18, Ronaldo at 19, where they had the whole is that died.
Is that-
just-
Rude wanted to fight. Rude was
Rude
fighting
was
Fergie
fighting. Rude-
because Fergie was giving preferential treatment.
Do you understand? And he's like, oh, I see a future in this guy. I want to like
Or
build
is it
him up and
Cantona
all
after
this
kicking that
thing.
fan?
See,
It's not
there's
even-
so many instances.
There's so many instances, and
so
they
many
don't
instances
reflect
to the
that.
extent Gary Neville even says till today, still calls him boss, and obviously Mr. Tough Love.
Beckham said he can't drink alcohol where Fergie
Do
is.
you understand? So
That's respect.
I don't. I just feel like most of these guys know only one way. They know only one way of football. They feel like this is how we played, and we must do
This
it
is
this
how it
exact
should
way.
be.
They don't want to.
I
learn
know the
anything.
funny
We
thing. If
dressing room culture,
you ask them how we
they
played,
don't know how they
they don't
played.
know how they played.
They just know that they won.
They just know that they won games.
So dressing room
It's only you as
culture-
a fan when you're watching how Manchester United plays. Some of these things we don't even realize that Manchester United were one of the first few teams that started using DLPs, ball playing goalkeepers, Van der Sar, Carrick as a DLP, using runners off the ball.
A lot of
them
things.
don't
They
know.
were not
it.
just pronounced.
The answer was
passes.
just we won games, we won trophies. Manchester United
So,
is the
I don't-
biggest club in England.
More often than not, when those guys just talk, I mean, obviously, broken clocks are right twice a day, right? Sometimes they make sense, but more often than not, because there's so many of them speaking, it just turns to noise. So that's.
Treasure, you let me before I sign out. Great conversation. Great
Okay,
points, by the way.
okay.
I just want you guys to, before I go, and I'll scrutinize all your picks, by the way. Who has been your player of, the third international break already? What's been your best player in Europe so far?
In Europe,
Europe.
I would just be lazy
Okay, be lazy.
and say Rafinha.
I'll say Salah.
Salah. Wow,
Salah,
okay.
yeah, I'll say
And you?
Salah.
I'll say this Umar
Mamouche.
Mamouche guy, yeah.
Brilliant
Mamouche
picks.
is-
Brilliant
is-
picks.
is-
Over to you. I don't have any issues with
You
this.
don't have any issues.
So, guys-
you're waiting for someone to say Garnacho.
So, guys, I hope you just enjoyed this appetizer. There's actually still more to come, but we'll go on a short break now, and then after the break, we'll now take our main course, which is the NBA. Thank you so much, Bamiji. I know you're signing out now, but we are bringing in someone, a man of timber and caliber, that will be joining us shortly. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for sticking with us, and now we are back for the main meal. You would eat today and you will be satisfied. Food that never finishes. Guys, please, what is going on with the Cavs? Like,
I mean-
I need to know, Eniola. Please tell me what's going on
well,
with the Cavs.
Personally, last time we were here, we didn't really speak about them too much. I think the Cavs are enjoying consistency right now. They haven't done any major trades. They haven't done anything to tweak what their current roster is. And also, everyone is healthy. They have a new coach that is utilizing them in very different ways. Mobley is there. Jared Allen is fit to start the season. You also have a very good a bench three in Wade, Caris LeVert, and
Yeah, they look like a 4 All-Stars.
yeah, they have really good team and a base. So it's going very well for them right now, and they are blowing teams out of the water. They've beaten the Warriors, they've beaten the Celtics,
Guy,
they've beaten.
like-
So they are beating
like-
proper teams. It's not just
like-
beating up on little
They beat the
guys up
Lakers
and
as
down.
well.
And why
Did we okay, that should be Lakers.
Sorry,
Momentum is a big deal in sports.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
any sports. If you win 3-4 games on the bounce, even if you play a team that is better than you on paper, right, they become a lot more wary of what you can do to them because they are, in quotes, scared of you. So I also think that that's coming in play. I mean, obviously, they have players that are playing the best that they've played in a while. You see someone like even Donovan that we're used to. Game on game is still delivering the goods,
yeah.
and all of that. So I just feel like it's not too early to say that they're doing well. I know everybody in the NBA, everybody's always doing when it gets to playoffs, they're doing well. So we give them credit for doing well.
According to the record, most teams that start like this always get to the conference final
Yeah.
or final.
Yep.
Or the
Yeah,
NBA
yeah,
finals.
yeah.
I think for these guys, it's going to be different for the Cavs. Because
Mostly
I
because
don't
of
think
Celtics
you can
or the-
play
yeah.
with two bigs in the playoffs and not be able to
yeah.
stretch the floor.
Yeah,
I don't think Mobley is a consistent shooter or someone that can stretch the floor for you. So let's see how that works out. Because that was the issue they had last year during the playoffs. They were, when it got to playoffs, they became a low scoring team because most teams won't just allow you to
dominate the paint and all of
and
that.
score like that.
Right.
So you need to be able to shoot and spread the floor, which was an issue for them last year. So
No,
let's
but
see.
but
You see the same set of players.
but to counteract that, right? What I've seen actually is Darius Garland. He seemed to have struggled last season with the pairing of Donovan Mitchell, but now he seems to have found his mojo.
Those two
So
will
don't
still
you
be
think
fine,
that will balance
but I
out?
still think it's an issue to play with two bigs that one of them can stretch the floor.
So do you feel maybe they will put in Allen and then switch in LeVert
So I think
towards the end of the season?
So yeah, I think that's what they will do during the playoffs. They will be switching between, during the season they'll be fine. I think during the season they'll be fine. But during the playoff, I think they'll play one of those bigs. They won't be playing the two bigs. You see.
fair enough.
Is it wild to expect maybe a trade?
Nah,
This
I
is
don't,
like-
I don't, I, right now, I don't
Not
think.
from the Cavs.
No need to
They're
spoil
doing
what's
really
going
well,
on.
like 11-0.
No, I mean towards the playoff.
No, I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so.
It will spoil. It will mess with their chemistry.
Mess their chemistry. Yeah, I don't think so.
With this in mind, so we have one team that it seems like a new coach is doing wonders for them. But on the opposite end, we have two teams that they have coaches that have been there, but it seems like they are struggling in the box and the
No.
in the box and the Mavericks.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's mention it.
When they fired Adrian Griffin last season,
With a winning record.
I told everyone in our group chat, I told Bolu, I told Tokwe, I told you that Doc Rivers is going to spoil this team. And yes, just one. Here we are. Like I said, here we are. See, NBA, the more things change, the more things stay the same.
But
Because
no,
it's
so
the same
but
people.
do you know the
There was
annoying
one
thing? The thing we're even hearing from the guys above, from the owner, is that they even want Doc Rivers to even have more power and control, like in
No,
the level of the GM
give him.
and stuff.
They should give him.
Give him.
They should give him.
I
Don't
mean,
worry.
you're lucky that this is not the Premier League where people
I've had a lot
relegate.
of
They should give him. Maybe they see what happened to Clippers. They should give him. When he brings Austin Reeves out of retirement and gives him a $50 million contract, it will be all right. They should give him the power. They should give him the power. And for the Mavericks, I said last time that the system would be an issue. Changing your offense in an off season is never going to go smoothly. You are going to have growing pains, and you are seeing it now.
And they are still bad defensively. I said
bad.
it too. Thompson is not. He can be a good shooter, and he needs to be more consistent for them to even win some.
So I don't even think the defensive liability is really even Thompson. I think at the moment it's
Luka.
Luka.
No, but Doncic has always been.
Luka's always been-
Doncic
No,
has
no,
always
No,
been.
no. So
busy defensively.
Doncic has always been like that. But Doncic reminds me of Rashford a bit. I would draw the similarities. Now these are the similarities between
There's no way
Doncic
you
and
can transfer
Rashford.
it
You
to
guys
Dexter,
know,
right?
no. You guys know I love Doncic, but I would draw the similarities. When it is not going for Rashford, you can see it in his body language. When it is not going for Doncic, you can literally see it in his body language. It's like he's not interested. Like to get back on defense, it becomes a problem. Doncic has been blown by 43 times this season, the most in the NBA. In how many games?
But it's an obvious target for teams.
So he's an obvious target, but there should be. I remember when Draymond. So Draymond said something. Just hold on. Draymond said something during the playoffs when he felt like they were actually targeting Doncic at a point. And Draymond said all he needs if he knows he has that kind of. Curry was like that at some point,
still
and then
like
he
that.
had to evolve his
still
game.
like that.
No, Curry is
Draymond
still like
said, but Curry puts in the effort.
No,
You can see the
you
effort.
can still. You will still target Curry on defense.
No, but but you can see the effort.
Which
That's
effort?
my point.
I said,
No.
that's the best
But there's
itself. Attack Curry, like
Bro, in the playoffs,
said, great assist.
how do you think the Cavs were able to
No,
overcome them in 2016?
But yeah, what Draymond
Even
was
the
saying.
war,
Yeah, what
Lakers,
Draymond was
that's
saying.
what Lakers
Yes,
did them
now.
to last 2
But
years.
yeah, what Draymond was saying. Draymond was saying all he needs is for you to give him a bit more effort, and he will be there to cover you, right? But you're having a guy where it feels like when it's not going for him, he doesn't even put in the energy or the effort when it comes to the
So
defensive
that's more
side.
of- that's
and
more
then
of team
he
chemistry,
still
not-
whines, he
yeah.
still complains.
Yeah, that's
And I
more
think
team
And then
chemistry.
he's the
Washington
team
being
leader.
Injured affects them. PJ Washington too is injured affects them.
So the thing
Who
is,
says that defensive
when
anchor now?
when like just like you mentioned with Rashford, right? There are many things when you don't work on from onset. When the things that are working for you go away, you are left with the deficiencies that you didn't work on. So now, coming in from age 16, when he came in from Madrid and he was drafted into the NBA, he has never been a lockdown defensively or
We
a,
all know that.
let's go, come on, let's. He has never been that.
Yes,
So,
height and size.
but
He
he's
just needs effort.
he's
That's
lazy.
That's what I think. He needs
Serbia,
effort.
like all these European guys, they are lazy on defense. The guys that have the ball
They
in
don't
their
even-
hands,
they don't even trust their
Jokic
bodies.
has
They
the
don't
same.
work their bodies.
Jokic is good defensively,
Look, he puts
but
effort.
in terms of running up and down and put, he's
know,
no,
yeah.
he's not going to give you
And
that.
that's even the first thing. They're not even- they're not athletes in the first
place. I don't know
I think
athletes.
They're not
Malon's
athletes in
system
the
helps
first place.
Jokic a lot.
Exactly, because
Malon's
Jokic
system
can actually
helps
even
Jokic a lot.
defend to start
Yeah.
with because of his height and length. He can
And
actually
size.
defend you.
He can
But
block
in terms
at
of
least.
at the guard position, as tall as you are,
Against the last game that they lost, the last play,
Jazz.
Jazz. Don't it really piss me? The ball literally passed
So
beside you.
like what? I was explaining to Eniola this morning, like there was, and this is
That shit pissed me off so much.
this is where I am so upset with this other man. His name is Jason Kidd. I am really upset with Jason Kidd. So a lot of times, like the last 4 games, literally back to back, they've all lost those games with nothing more than 3 points in the clutch. Whose responsibility is it to call the plays? It is obviously Jason Kidd. Now, during that transition or that play that happened, there was actually a camera angle that was showing Jason Kidd trying to instruct Grimes and Doncic what to do at that particular point in time. So Doncic even explained that it was on him, but he didn't know whether it was Grimes that was to go or he was the one that was to go. And eventually, what did we see? We saw that pass. Or was it Jason Kidd that was defending the last heave that he designed a play for Doncic to shoot from from the logo, and he said that was a great play
against
So,
Denver.
these are my
Why did he even
problems.
go to the hot hand against Denver? Kai was like 40-something points.
That's
No,
an-
he actually went to the hot hand.
there's an
He
IQ.
went to
So,
the hot hand, but it was a
another
tough
thing
shot making.
Yeah,
That was the top shot.
Tough shot making.
Another thing the Mavs so far is they had an IQ problem in the team. There's no one with very high IQ that can say, okay, you know what, this is what the other team is going to run. This is what we are going to run.
Yeah,
And
something like
Raptors
what
are going to
Jokic
do.
does for Nuggets.
Jokic does
yeah.
that.
Or LeBron, yeah.
In fact, LeBron is the
LeBron
king
does
of
it
doing
all
that
the
thing.
time.
In fact, when you're about to break, he's going to break down your offense in front of you
Yeah, and
tell you exactly what they're going to do.
explain your
And he's going to switch it because
Yeah, exactly.
So
From
that's-
stoppages.
that's one of the reasons why the Lakers are doing very well, because they have two high IQ people on the pitch at the same time, and you also have one on the court. So if you watch how JJ Redick breaks down the team and breaks down the sets and the plays that they're going to do, and he knows that he doesn't even need to say anything. He knows that LeBron is going to carry that thing out to the T, and if there's a point where we are going to make an adjustment, LeBron is the
Yeah,
perfect
he's
person
smart enough
to make that
yeah.
adjustment for you without any issue.
During the play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just they have an IQ problem on the Mavs. I'm
It's good
just
we
just-
say-
This guy just
I
scored on their
didn't
players.
know- I didn't know
No,
why I
No,
find
no, it's so now.
No.
That's what
Do you
it
know why I
is.
find it funny? For someone for someone like Doncic, where people can say, okay, this guy actually has high basketball IQ in some of his plays. To now say that the Mavs actually have
so it's
IQ
two
an
different
IQ
things.
problem.
It's two
It's one
different
thing when you
things.
have. So, for example, I'll
Yeah.
give you an NFL example, right? When
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes came into the league in his first 2 years, when he won the Super Bowl that first year, second year he was saying he couldn't even read the playbook. It's one thing to be good; you can make all those changes on the fly. But having IQs when you know the other team's play, you can break it down and have alternatives. So I don't think his game has developed. The way he plays basketball, he plays it like a savant, genius. He can spread the pass, he can see a pass. I mean, great. But when it comes to
reading
the way the game is
Trying
going to be
stop
played,
the opponents and it's
thinking
like,
far
like
ahead.
an eagle's eye view
Nah.
of the game.
That's
Okay.
not. They don't have that.
Now you guys both mentioned something about the Lakers. Have you guys been impressed so far with what JJ Redick is actually?
I'm absolutely impressed because if this is his first coaching job anywhere,
Yep.
not any. This is anywhere.
Anywhere.
And normally when you see guys on ESPN breaking down games on
It's
their
easy now.
podcast,
Talk
it's
is
easy to
cheap.
talk.
Talk is cheap.
There is sweet. In fact,
Talk
it's
is
be
cheap.
flowing. But when I started to pay attention to the guy was when he and LeBron had their podcast and they were breaking down plays. That okay, this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do
Some
this.
people said that was
Some
the
were like,
interview.
that's what the interview was all about. Okay, no problem. Now we are seeing it unfold.
Yep.
They are 8-4. The guy has been able to do what 3 past coaches haven't done, which is unlock what AD's potential is. AD is playing like the best player on the
He
team.
had 40 yesterday.
40 points yesterday. LeBron had
AD has been very consistent.
Four-
consistent.
four
He has
triple-doubles.
top
Has been
3
very
top 3
consistent.
points. in the
LeBron
league.
has
He got to
4
triple-double
triple-doubles,
yes,
four-
triple-double
4 games in a
yesterday
row.
again.
If the Lakers can sort out their defensive problems in terms of because
So,
AD
I
literally
think-
is defending 1v5
I think-
right
Is
now.
it just
It's
so,
not going to
so,
work.
so
I
is
think
it just
he
is it only just the defensive problems, or you guys also have a guard problem?
No. So,
I don't think
for
so.
example, now I'll break down the guard situation. When you look at the reason why the switch after the game was it against Washington, where
Last 2 games. He switched,
no, not last 2
Cam
games, where he
Reddish.
switched Cam Reddish to the starting and then
Yeah.
when D'Lo messed up the play and he was literally vibrating on his seat like he wanted to pull off the
Yes, I-
chair.
No,
There was one he was
Yeah,
passing
that
the
was,
GM.
and he stood up and subbed him out. The very next game, took him to the bench because he wasn't
And they
executing.
asked him, and
That
then he
game
actually
played 18
mentioned it
minutes.
in the
Yes,
post
that-
conference.
That's how you know
And
a
I was
coach.
and I was told in their locker room too. He like he was out for
Yeah,
him. Like
that's
bro,
how you. That's how
can't-
you.
can't-
That's how you know a coach.
Revert
That's
back
how
to your
you
old
know.
I think one of
habits
the
and
things
do
he's
that.
doing that's working very well for him is also the fact that, unlike past years, they haven't had to depend on LeBron's body that much.
Exactly.
Right? LeBron is 14 years old. You cannot keep on. Yes, LeBron is still fit. LeBron is still LeBron and all of that. But now they're using more of his brain, right? They're calling plays.
Facilitates more, yeah.
Yeah, and all of
agree
that.
with
So
that.
it's helping them a lot more. And what it will make sure is that LeBron is durable over the season.
Yep.
If he's playing the way he was playing 2 years ago, he'll probably get injured at some
Yeah.
stage. And once LeBron is injured or AD is injured, that team is in big trouble.
Yep.
Now, so you have to keep them fresh, especially considering their tight schedule, the playoffs, and all of that. And this new setup is giving AD and LeBron less to do in terms of being physical. So that's one of the things that's helping them as well.
And that's where the guard situation now comes in. When you bring in Reddish is not a good shooter, we know that, but Reddish is very good defensively. Very good defensively.
He has the length.
Decent.
Decent. He has the
decent.
legs.
He's a decent
And then you
shooter.
now have Austin Reeves who's coming into his position as he can also spread the play. So that way you have Reeves and Reddish. Then you have LeBron, AD, and maybe Kinect that's currently in the rotation
Yep,
right now.
yep.
So that what that gives you is you have a solid, semi-solid starting five, and then you now have Gabe Vincent, D'Lo, and Max Christie coming off the bench who can give you quality, good minutes, and good points.
So let me
come-
not ask that question. Let me not ask this question.
Yeah, I think that
Since that Miami shot,
He
yeah.
just forgot to shoot since joining Lakers.
Since that Miami shot.
Game Vincent, he forgot to shoot since joining the Lakers.
Since that
I
Miami
just
It's only,
understand.
it's only Eric Spoelstra that can block that guy.
That guy's like 4 3 out of
Guy,
It was against
so
Celtics
let
now.
me ask.
That
Let me
shot-
ask
yes,
this
that's
question.
against Celtics.
Do you think, as currently constructed, because there's been a lot of talk about maybe the Lakers need to have a trade. Do you think, as currently constructed, that the Lakers can actually go far in the playoffs,
So-
or do they need a trade?
I feel like as currently constructed, they can go to the second round, but I feel like they need to get a center because once you get a center, you improve your interior defense. AD can now
AD
patrol the
and-
paint.
So I like the way JJ has been setting up the defense. AD starts out like he doesn't stay in the paint when you're running defense. It starts out like in the,
On the perimeter.
Yeah, in the perimeter. To guard, then you have like someone like maybe Iwi and LeBron close to the paint as well. So anytime you do it like a switch, it's going to be switched to AD. So perimeter player. So if they get a center like that, it will be really wonderful.
Because
If
we're
you-
hearing
Because you are
Walker
Walker
Kessler.
Kessler, yeah. So what that does for them is that you can now put AD back into the paint. He doesn't have to
Yes, now.
bang bodies with those big centers in the
guys,
league.
yeah.
What Kessler does that and also protects the rim. AD can now protect the paint. Then like, you have LeBron, you have Reddish size and
So
length.
you're
and you also have
saying
Reeves.
you're only seeing it go up.
I mean, right now they are 18-4, 6-0 at home.
Please
They are
don't
doing
cheat.
very well.
Don't
Don't
cheat.
cheat. Join Lakers or Warriors. Leave
No,
Mavericks
no.
alone.
I don't want a beg. Lakers that should have made the trade for Buddy Hield and DeRozan would have been fine. They went and
Buddy Hield and
got the Westbrook and destroyed the
Westbrook.
entire team. I
And
beg.
threw away-
No more
threw
trades
away
like that.
all our
please.
assets.
So- what's that
no,
LeBron
but,
score?
but it will work. It will work. But
technically,
conversation for another
yes,
day.
I blame LeBron for that. I blame him because him and AD said no, bring him in, we'll make it work. It was never going to work.
Okay.
I said
No, I just
like,
wanted to
this
clarify
is never
that.
going to
On
work.
IQ
this
on the
Westbrook-
court and
hold
IQ
on, hold on.
upstairs.
On
not
this-
the same.
on
Two
this
different
Westbrook-
business
on
lines.
this Westbrook issue now, actually transitioning to the Nuggets, how have you guys seen that transition?
He's done well, but someone is suffering for it. That's Murray.
Just one
Murray
person.
really suffering for it?
Yes,
Is
no.
it just one person?
Just at least for
'Cause-
now. No, the averages are still good. They are still 7-4 to start the season. This is not bad.
Why are they
Not
7-4?
It's not because of Ross now.
No,
Last
no,
season-
that's my point. Like
last
you
season-
said, they are still 7-4, so they are
No,
not bad.
last season.
Why
they
are
were-
they
you know that
7-4?
last
Obviously.
season they were worse
They
off
keep
than
losing
this.
core of their players and they are not replacing
Yeah.
They're
them.
not replacing
Yeah.
them.
That's why I respect you, Kicho. They've literally changed that team a couple of times.
I beg, I'm not respecting him.
Yes,
Go back to the
that
final.
guy. Yes, that
I was
guy
about
is
to
still
say
carrying
that.
the team.
He has been MVP how many years now?
3 years.
And
How
he
many
just won
championships?
four
Just one
years.
championship.
Just one championship.
Just one
Come on.
final
Don't worry
appearance.
now.
Just one
You-
final appearance of
don't
a championship.
worry.
I'm worried.
I'm worried.
I'm
You
worrying
get
because
it.
everybody was
But
calling
guys,
best
but
player on
guys,
the
I
planet.
would call
No,
the best
no,
player.
but in
Like,
general,
is it
no,
really-
but in
okay,
general.
so-
But guys,
but-
wait.
but-
Can you actually see what Jokic is actually doing, even with the roster being as not
That's
so
what I
good
was
as
going
it
to.
is?
His roster is not.
His
I mean,
roster
if you
is
look
not
at- if you
good,
look at-
but yet
if you look
he's
at first
still
defense,
able
if you
to
look at that
carry the
Celtics,
team.
if you look at that
I'm not
Celtics
going
team,
to hear anything.
if you look at that Celtics
in terms of
if you look
roster
at,
or anything because
This
I've
was just-
seen.
look at that
No, I'm not a hater. I'm a big fan of.
But guess what? He
Let's
has
keep
gotten to
things-
the finals. What has another person like him, Embiid, done?
Who? No, Embiid, no wahala. I'm not even.
I don't understand.
Embiid is not as good as
process. I don't
Jokic.
understand.
But if you are
No, but
talking
people
about
are arguing it
if
at
you want
some
to
point.
Someone has
give
three
someone
MVPs in 4 years.
if you want to give someone the tag of best player in the world, best revolutionize the game,
Yeah.
and he can't get his team of what maybe not the same quality or talent to the finals. It's not the same. Let's be consistent, right? I've seen somebody maintain consistency for how many years? I don't know. I mean,
you're about to go LeBron.
yes, and when and not even let's not
finals.
even say finals. When they said okay, you must do. Bro, LeBron took a team where the very next person averaged 15 points.
Yeah,
in
it
the
was,
NBA
I think it was
finals.
J.R.
NBA
Smith.
final.
It wasn't J.R. Smith. It was Mo Williams.
Oh yeah,
the
the
first-
first Cleveland.
the first
yeah,
Cleveland.
Yeah, the first Cleveland.
When
yeah.
That they faced Spurs.
When Steph was in the same position, someone will tell me Steph is when Steph was in the same position. Guess where Steph went out in the season? In the plane. There's levels to this thing, but no, let them keep hyping
No.
the Serbian up. It's fine.
No. But yesterday, when
What did you call it now?
the Serbian one.
I said let them keep hyping. No,
But yesterday,
Serbian, I call it the
we
Serbian.
gave our flowers on the group to LeBron. You saw that.
It's
you
not enough.
obviously- You obviously
It's never
saw that.
enough.
Like I feel people don't understand.
People don't understand what greatness is,
What
bro.
greatness and how good LeBron is right now.
No, but hold on.
Do you know what
hold
it
on,
means?
Hold on.
No, let me give you. Do you know what
At
it means?
age 40,
Do you know what it
hold
means
on.
to go from minutes 1 to minutes? About thousands of minutes is played to be great consistently from then
Year
to
in,
now,
year out.
without a dip in form.
But you know LeBron is like the outlier.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's why
LeBron is the outlier.
But they don't talk at
LeBron
so
is
when,
the outlier.
when they
He's
talk
that
about
fast.
when they talk about other guys, they talk about
We
other
all
guys
know. So
as outliers as well.
this is what is happening, right? When LeBron was in his prime, because we know he's.
LeBron is still in his prime.
No, I don't think.
I'm playing.
I don't think he's still in his prime.
I'm playing.
We knew LeBron when LeBron was.
LeBron in
when
Miami
When
was-
LeBron was.
It's fine. Don't worry.
He was someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
Unstoppable someone else.
And then finally, let's so that we don't waste so much time on this. What about the Warriors? What do you think about the
I
Warriors?
think the Warriors are
Ten
doing.
and two.
I also said the Warriors will do very well. I told you that them losing Clay was not going to be an issue for them because they
Body
replaced
Hield,
someone with
With
less
Body Hield.
With Body Hield. He's going to less ego, less. He's willing to come off the bench. He's going to make
But
shots.
is that rotation sustainable?
Yes,
yeah,
because Body Hield has been over the past 3 years a consistent 3-point.
No, not just Body Hield, but they are rotating like they have about 10, 12 guys that they
Yes.
keep playing. Is that
Last
actually
night,
sustainable?
game they won last night. Almost they averaged like 15 points each of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
All of them in
like,
double
they have like
digits.
6 players that average over.
Spread the
double
wealth.
digits.
Spread-
So
yeah,
like
they spread
it
the wealth,
spreads
yeah.
the wealth, and they had like they scored like 126 points. That's still
His
a lot.
Curry only had 13 points.
Yes, I scored like 13 points.
Yeah, he had no points.
Most teams can't do that
He
and
had
still
no
win the
points.
game.
He had no points in the fourth quarter.
So that will be all right. Warriors
They'll
will
be all right.
So the teams for me to watch, obviously, we have Rockets are doing well this season. Like I
Yes,
said they would.
did very well.
I
Rockets
said
are-
they would, but you
no,
said
The
no,
Knicks
no.
are also doing well.
No, we're
Knicks-
not arguing.
no,
We're not arguing
Knicks-
the Rockets
The
actually.
Knicks
No,
are expected
I
to do
didn't
well.
argue it. He argued it, not me.
well, him and Tomo that said Rockets will do
He
well.
argued
But I said
it,
Rockets
not
will do
me.
well.
I just,
But
but I
yes,
still don't believe.
Knicks-
I
Rockets.
trust. I
still think-
trust in the coach. Come on,
I
I
still
trust
think
in that man.
a
so
Rockets will
much.
still have a dip in form, but let's
I don't
see.
think so, but let's see.
No, I actually think they'll have it.
They'll be all right. They may get into the plane.
Yeah.
So
They
guys,
may not
That's
drop that
probably
far.
where they'll end up.
It's not a bad
Of course, it's not
season
a
for
bad-
them. They
Yeah,
get
Yeah,
into
but have
the
you
considering where
seen?
they're
Have
coming
you,
from
guys,
anyway.
have you seen the Eastern Conference? Have you seen like guys? Someone is 6-6 and is in top 5. I'm like
The
in my
Eastern
mind, I'm
Conference-
like, what's going
The
on?
Eastern Conference are
What's
very
going on here?
This is very
The
early.
Bulls
this
are
season.
like I think 5-8 now. They lost. They are still in like
That's
fifth
still
or
like
so.
playoff
Yes,
playoff
nah.
picture.
We'll talk
all
about
these
Paul
things
George
are
very
very
soon.
easy.
Don't worry.
Yeah?
Ah,
All these
my
things
guy.
are
Talk
very
about Paul
easy.
George very soon.
Someone mentioned Paul
Talk
George.
about Paul George very
Paul
soon.
George.
Someone mentioned Paul George.
Guy, are you seeing
Paul
the,
George
are
is
you
not
seeing
Paul
the
George, he's
stinkers that
Lesbian,
Embiid?
like,
Are you seeing the stinkers that Embiid is
Don't
so
worry. Shebi people say, but
Nobody
I told you
mentioned
Paul
Paul
George
George.
is not
Nobody,
going
no,
to.
we didn't
He's
argue
not
Paul
going to
George.
elevate.
Nobody argued Paul George with you.
Nobody argued Paul George.
So
Was that Paul George? I was
We left
certain.
it. We
I
left it
used
for
to
you.
love- I used to love Paul.
The
George.
same
left
Paul
it
George
for
I
you.
saw in Clippers.
But yeah, so quick tough games that are coming up during the
Those guys
weekend.
didn't boo him enough.
Tough games coming up during the weekend. Mavs, OKC, and Suns, Timberwolves. Who do you guys think will take it?
Suns are doing really well too this season. I think
No, but
that game is a lot more.
injury.
Yeah, injury is a factor.
you
They
said-
have Bill and Durant out.
Mavs,
yeah.
Mavs, OKC, Suns.
I think
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves
think-
get that game.
yeah,
Timberwolves
Timberwolves
because of the
get
just because of the
and
injury.
okay.
After they lost back to
Timberwolves
back
has been
against
shitty.
Portland.
They lost back to-
They lost
they
back
lost
to back against
against
Portland.
Portland.
I watched those
Yeah.
2 games, bro.
Oh, that's true. But you guys are really trash this season.
So what? Those Timberwolves too, they've been struggling.
Yes.
Roundu is not really a consistent shooter like
Yeah.
Towns. You know, Towns has been odd. Towns has been dropping 30,
Yeah,
40,
40,
I agree.
30.
I agree.
46 in one game. It was
Good,
it
yes,
was
like
46 in one
consistent
game.
shooter. And DiVincenzo too that they signed, opening was going to be a consistent shooter. I don't know where he's shooting. Went like some
Man,
players
but
just switch team
after all
and they
this
forget how to
analysis-
shoot.
After all this analysis, who are you going with? Timberwolves
And
versus
OKC.
Suns. Who are you going with?
So I'm going with Timberwolves because Suns has 2 of their
Starters
best
out.
starters
out,
injured.
yeah.
And
Same
nothing
thing with
is
you?
not
I
fit.
think I'll go with Suns because Budenholzer knows how to coach a team that shoots very well. I think they'll shoot them out of the
So
park.
you
I'll
think
go with
we
Wolves.
just
You
Booker?
go
They're going
Wolves.
to beat
So 2
It's
Wolves,
Booker has
one
done it
Suns.
before now. Booker was the main guy
Like
on the
that,
team
'cause
before.
Then
Yeah, before.
Ant-Man has been
Okay,
chucking a lot of
then
threes
Mavs,
to
OKC.
Okay,
Ant-Man is not
I
OKC.
don't think. Yeah, OKC.
Mavs, OKC.
Mavs OKC.
I'll go with
OKC,
Mavs
OKC.
because
Oh,
OKC doesn't have any big anymore. Like
Yeah, they don't have any big, but I still
So
think.
you think
they
it's
have
another
enough.
Lob City?
yeah, I think Gafford, Lively. No, I think Lively is injured.
We might not be able to touch the NFL anymore.
But just quickly, let's
quickly,
talk about quickly how Lamar is going to cruise into his third MVP.
MVP. Do you
Without
actually
a
think?
chip.
Do you actually
Without,
think?
without he's getting his chip this season. Don't worry. He's getting his chip this
Lamar
season.
getting
He's
chip.
getting his chip this season.
I beg you.
As
No one-
this guy said,
We'll
all
come
roads
back.
Begging.
All come back.
He go grow goatee.
We'll come back to this
all
very
roads
soon.
to Chiefs.
Lamar Jackson is getting his chip this season.
Shifts. I'm hearing
Last
I'm hearing
season,
weird things.
No.
on
All
this
road
game.
leads to
Sir,
Mahomes.
we do
He's
have
not
time
beating
anymore.
Mahomes.
Sir, we do not have
I
time
know.
anymore.
Let me just run a stat to you. Last season when he won his MVP, through 12 games, he had only 10 touchdowns and over 2,000 yards. Now he has 24 touchdowns and
Oh,
over
yes, he's
3,000
doing
yards.
much more.
He's doing better.
doing much
And they
more.
don't have a running back.
He has Derrick.
Exactly.
Someone
Guys,
that
let's
with
go.
a
So
good
to
run
end-
game.
To end this.
No worries.
To
That
end
makes
this.
it easier for you.
Don't worry, don't worry.
They are still going to lose against
Yeah, now
the
let's
Chiefs.
go.
We have heard
The
you,
only
sir.
thing that for them is the defense. That's all.
We have
But
heard
let's
you,
go.
sir. We
You know
have
what?
heard you.
Imagine
So
how
to
nice
end
it would be for
direct-
Chiefs to
Oga,
win it all.
Oga, we will take this outside. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you
So
all.
to end this, Ravens Steelers quickly. Who are you going with?
That's a game, bro.
That's a real rivalry.
That's a real game. But I'll go Ravens.
You go Ravens.
Mr. Unlimited.
You go who?
Uh,
My boy is start going to Bosch.
Who?
I'm going to go with Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, Pickens.
Yes.
Nah. Unless Kai Hamilton is not fit, boy.
Then
I think
City,
it was-
I'm going to go with
Kansas
Mr.
City
Limited.
Bills.
Oof.
Just quickly, please.
So I feel Josh Allen has a lot to prove in that game.
Sir,
I'll go Chiefs. I'll go Chiefs.
Pick one.
I'll go Chiefs.
Bills or
I'm going to pick Chiefs
okay. And thank you
because
guys.
I want them to finish unbeaten.
Thank you all. That is a wrap for this week. I told you we were cooking a banger. You see how the men here are sweating under AC. And they don't want to go anywhere. So this is all from us for this week. And we'll catch you same time next week. Peace out.